The Constitution of India. Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Confidence and hard work is the best medicine to kill the disease called failure. It will make you a successful person. So, my dear children, do hard work and be confident. You will be a successful person in your life. Welcome back to the class. In the previous class, we had discussed how the kidneys maintain homeostasis and what are the kidney diseases. And today we are moving on to what are the solutions for kidney failure. You know that if the kidneys become non-functional, the kidneys will not be able to filter the waste materials or the impurities from the blood. So, in such situation, the only solution for such situation is either hemodialysis or kidney transplantation. So, now we are going to discuss hemodialysis and kidney transplantation. Okay. So, in hemodialysis, the blood with the waste material or impurities passes through the artificial kidneys and purify it. This is what happens in the hemodialysis. Okay. The hemodialysis has 3 stages. Okay, you can see it here. In the first stage, the blood from the artery with a high quantity of waste materials passed into the dialysis unit. So, you can see here the dialysis unit and the blood with a high quantity of waste material from the body of the person passed into the dialysis unit through a device like this. You can see here. See, when we admit in the hospital, usually they will use a catheter to give injection, all those things. And this device is similar to that one. Just to make you understand, I am telling this. Okay. So, from this is from the artery from the hand they are using. Okay. So, the blood with a high quantity of waste material passed into the dialysis unit. Okay. Then you know that when an injury or a wound happen in our body, you know that immediately when the blood comes out of the body, immediately it will clot, isn't it? So, here also there are chances to clot the blood. So, in order to prevent blood clotting, heparin is added to the blood. Heparin is an anticoagulant which prevents the blood clotting. Okay. Then the next stage is, so now the blood flows into the dialysis unit, and when this blood passes through the dialysis unit, the impurities from the blood diffuses to the dialysis fluid. The dialysing fluid is there in the dialysis unit. So, this I told you, this is the dialysis unit. So, the blood flows through these tubes and it passes through the tubes. You can see here the red color small tubes you can see here. So, the blood passes through these parts, and this is made up of cellophane tube. Cellophane is very thin material, which means it is very thin like a plasma membrane. okay, so that very easily the impurities from the blood can diffuses to the dialysis fluid, okay, and this tube, cellophane tube, is dipped in the dialysis fluid. So when blood passes through these tubes, the impurities from the blood diffuses to the dialysis fluid in the dialysis unit. Understood? And after this filtration process, the purified blood is again moved back to the body through the veins. So these are the 3 stages of hemodialysis. Hope you have understood. Okay, so now we are moving on to the next solution, that is kidney transplantation. Have you heard about kidney transplantation? You might have heard about kidney transplantation, isn't it? People will undergo kidney transplantation. In which situation? When both the kidneys are non-functional. Actually, one healthy kidney is enough to purify the blood. But when both the kidneys are non-functional, a healthy functioning kidney should be received from a donor to save the person's life. So if a person's both the kidneys are non-functional, he has to receive a healthy functioning kidney from somebody else to save his or her life. So kidney transplantation becomes necessary when both the kidneys of a person becomes non-functional. Okay, so the person can receive kidney from a healthy person who died in an accident, or of a healthy person can be transplanted. Okay, or healthy aayittulla aaldeyo allengil ഒരു ഹെൽത്തി ആയിട്ട് ആക്സിഡൻറ്റിൽ മരിച്ച ഒരാളുടെയോ കിഡ്നി ട്രാൻസ്പ്ലാന്റ് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ the process, the transplantation process, how it is taking place, this kidney transplantation process, you can see it here. So before that, you can see here, the first artificial kidney was designed by the Dutch doctor William Johan Kolff. He was a Dutch doctor. His name is William Johan Kolff. Okay. So you can see here the figure. Okay, kidney transplantation. So these are the non-functional kidney or damaged kidney, and this is the transplanted kidney. Okay, so during the transplantation process, the damaged kidneys are not removed. Instead, a new kidney is connected below the damaged kidney to the renal artery and vein of the recipient. Okay, then the ureter of the transplanted kidney is connected to the urinary bladder of the recipient. മനസ്സിലായോ? അതായത് കിഡ്നി ട്രാൻസ്പ്ലാന്റേഷൻ നടക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ ഡോണറുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ നിന്നും കിഡ്നി റിമൂവ് ചെയ്തെടുക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് വിത്ത് ദ യുറേറ്റർ ദേ ആർ റിമൂവിങ് ദ കിഡ്നി, ഓക്കെ, ഫ്രം ദ ഡോണേഴ്സ് ബോഡി. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ആ റീനൽ ആർട്ടറിയുടെയും റീനൽ വെയിൻ്റെയും കുറച്ച് പാർട്ടും കൂടി ഉണ്ടാവും. യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഇറ്റ് ഹിയർ, ദ റീനൽ ആർട്ടറി, renal vein, this is the ureter. So with the renal artery, renal vein and ureter, the kidney is removed from the donor's body and it is transplanted to the recipient's body. Okay, so the kidney is connected to the renal artery and renal vein of the recipient through microvascular surgery. കാരണം റീനൽ ആർട്ടറിയും റീനൽ വെയിനൊക്കെ ചെറിയ ബ്ലഡ് വെസൽസ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ബ്ലഡ് വെസൽസ് ഒക്കെ തുന്നിപ്പിടിപ്പിക്കുക പറയുമ്പോൾ അത് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി വെരി കോംപ്ലിക്കേറ്റഡ് സർജറി. Similarly, the ureter also connected to the urinary bladder of the recipient. So this is how the kidney transplantation process is taking place. Okay, so the donor should be very healthy, and moreover, before the kidney transplantation, before the surgery, how we will select the donor, many processes are there. Okay, so the donor, the blood group of the blood group, as well as we have to consider the matching of the blood group as well as the tissues of both donor and recipient. If it is not matched, we cannot conduct the surgery. So before the surgery, we have to consider these points, especially the blood group and the tissues. Blood group and the tissues, if both are matching, then no problem, the surgery can be done. And the success of these kind of complicated surgeries are very less actually. Sometimes our body will reject the newly transplanted organ, and sometimes the person will survive the situation. Okay, so this is how the kidney transplantation process is what is it? The kidney transplantation surgery is, we can do the kidney transplantation process. Understood? Okay. And you can collect more information about kidney transplantation, and donating an organ is a noble thing, isn't it? So everybody can donate their organs to those who are needy. Okay, many people are donating their organ, so you can support that. So collect more information about kidney transplantation and make a small poster, okay, and send it to me. Okay, so I will show it in the next video. If you send it, definitely I'll show in the next video. Okay, so shall we move on to the next topic? The next topic is excretion in other organisms. So is there any mechanisms in other organisms as in human beings to eliminate the excretory products? What do you think? Definitely there will be certain mechanisms to eliminate the impurities or the excretory materials from their body, isn't it? So here we are going to discuss the excretory process and the excretory products in certain organisms like amoeba, fish, then insects, birds and reptiles, frog, okay, then earthworm. Okay, so one by one let us discuss. Okay, so first we will discuss amoeba. So in amoeba, you know that it is a unicellular organism. So in amoeba there is no special excretory organ, or there is no special organ system to eliminate excretory materials. Okay, and in amoeba the excretory products are ammonia and the excess water that reach the cells, and they are expelled out through contractile vacuole. So contractile vacuole is a part of its cell, and with the help of contractile vacuole amoeba eliminates the excretory products like ammonia and water. Is that clear? Okay. Then the next one is insects. In insects, the excretory organs are Malpighian tubules. The excretory organs are Malpighian tubules. Okay. So these Malpighian tubules are connected to the digestive tract of the insects, and these Malpighian tubules, they separate the waste materials from the body fluid and eliminate it through the digestive waste. Clear? Okay. Then, and the main excretory product in insect is uric acid. Okay. The main excretory product in insect is uric acid, and that will be filtered or separated from the body fluid with the help of Malpighian tubule, and they will be eliminated along with the digestive waste. Then next one is earthworm. Then in earthworm, nephridia are the excretory organ, and in earthworm the main excretory products are ammonia, water and urea. Ammonia, water and urea are the main excretory products, and the nephridia will separate the excretory products from the body cavity and expel them through the small pores on the body surface. So, body surface ലൂടെയാണ് expel ചെയ്യുന്ന പോകുന്നത്. ബോഡി സർഫസിൽ സ്മോൾ പോഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവും. ഈ സ്മോൾ പോഴ്സിലൂടെയാണ് അമോണിയം, യൂറിയയും വാട്ടറും എർത്ത് വേമിൽ എക്സ്പെൽ ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്നത്. നെഫ്രീഡിയ ഈ എക്സ്ക്രീറ്ററി പ്രോഡക്ട്സിനെ ബോഡി ക്യാവിറ്റിയിൽ നിന്ന് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. ഇസ് ദാറ്റ് ക്ലിയർ? ഓക്കെ. ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് വൺ ഈസ് fishes. In fishes, the excretory organ is kidney and the major excretory product is ammonia. So, this kidney will separate ammonia and the ammonia is directly expelled to the water. So, excretory organ is kidney and excretory product is ammonia. Then next one is frog. In frog, kidneys are the excretory organs and the kidneys filtered the excretory products including urea and expelled out as urine. Okay. The last one is reptiles and birds. In reptiles and birds also, kidneys are the major excretory organs and the excretory product is uric acid, and uric acid is filtered with the help of kidney and eliminated out from the body through digestive waste. Okay. So, these are the different types of different organisms and the digestive process. Hope you all have understood. So, in human beings also excretory products are formed and they are eliminated. In the same manner, in other organisms also excretory products are formed in their body and they have their own mechanism to eliminate it out from their body. Okay. In amoeba there is no special organ, but still it eliminates the waste which is formed in its body. So, hope you all have understood. So, next we are moving on to the next topic. Next topic is about plants. So, children, what do you think? Do plants excrete? Yes. Plants also have their own mechanisms to eliminate waste, but they do not have a separate system to eliminate waste from their body. In plants, the life process are less compared to animals, so that the waste material formed in plants also less compared to animals. But even though they have their own mechanisms to eliminate waste. So, what are the major excretory products formed in plants, and what are the mechanisms to eliminate waste from the plant body? This is what now we are going to discuss. So, plants have their own body parts to eliminate waste and they have their own mechanisms to eliminate waste from their body. So, first let us discuss what are the parts that help the plants to eliminate the waste. Okay. So, here you can see stomata, lenticel, then hydathodes. Stomata, lenticel, hydathodes. These are the body parts which help the plants to eliminate waste from their body. So, stomata and lenticel helps to eliminate the photosynthetic byproduct called oxygen and the respiratory byproduct carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so during photosynthesis oxygen is evolved, isn't it? And this oxygen is expelled out through stomata. Then the respiratory byproducts are the carbon dioxide and water. So, carbon dioxide and water are expelled out through the stomata and lenticel. Okay. So, these are the two parts which help to eliminate oxygen, carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Then next one is hydathodes. In certain grasses and shrubs, the excess water is eliminated through small pores seen at the tip of the leaves, and these small pores are known as hydathodes, and hydathodes help to eliminate excess of water. So, these are the body parts which help the plants to eliminate waste. Now, let us see what are the methods, the special mechanisms to eliminate waste from the body. Okay. So, first one is formation of heartwood. So in plants, some waste materials are accumulated in the older xylem vessels seen at the center of the tree trunk, and this accumulation of waste will help in the formation of heartwood. Heartwood means ഏറ്റവും ഉള്ളിലുള്ള കട്ടിയുള്ള വുഡിൻ്റെ അതാണ് heartwood എന്ന് പറയുക. അപ്പോൾ here the waste is used to form the heartwood. Then the next method is abscission of leaves. So you would have seen the falling of leaves, isn't it? So when a leaf is about to fall, the plant will absorb all the useful substances from that leaf, and all the useful substances from that leaf, and the fallen leaf only mostly contains the waste materials. Okay, so these are the two methods, formation of heartwood and abscission of leaves. Clear? Okay, so with this topic the chapter is over. Now it's time to wind up the chapter. Okay, so for a healthy life, our external environment and internal environment should be free from waste. It is our responsibility to keep the external environment free from the garbage. Our body has the mechanism to keep it healthy by removing or eliminating waste to maintain the health. Understood? And in that process, by maintaining the homeostasis, in that process, the organs like kidney, liver, skin and lungs play a very important role. You have understood that from this chapter. Okay, so in order to protect these organs, we have to lead such a lifestyle. Then only we can protect these organs, isn't it? We have to avoid bad food habits and bad habits like smoking, drinking, all those things, isn't it? So then only we can lead a healthy life. So hope you all have understood the concepts we have discussed in this chapter. So go through the chapter thoroughly, keep on watching the videos. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Complete the file work, write the tables, fill up the tables given in the textbook and write it in the file, and write the indicators, answers for the indicators, and also write the answers of the letter success. Okay, so with this I am winding up this class. See you in the next class. Until then, this is your Maya teacher signing off.